Di kemari. Right. Antiga. Nini, itu ingat inti. Antiga. Right. Ika kaman. Let's start. Please say 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, good evening to everyone. So today too, we are going to start the meditation program. I wish that all of you have a good meditation time today too. So we are proceeding forward and we are practicing the third step of Vipassana meditation. So in Vipassana meditation, we started observing the head area first, the sensations on the head area. Then after that, we moved forward and started observing the face area, sensations on your face area. Then after that, we started observing the sensations. So at the third step, we started observing the sensations on your neck and on your right hand and on your left hand up to the fingertips, right? So gradually, we are understanding, we are getting the right understanding about our own body. And at the same time, we are understanding about our mind too. So we realize that each and every moment, the sensation, this very body, the sensations of this very body, they are arising and passing. Simultaneously, the thoughts, they are also continuously arising and passing. And you realize the impermanence of your body and mind. And when you observe this, you understand that you clearly get to know that actually there is no any eternal being here. We are continuously arising and passing away. We are beings with the nature of impermanence, right? Then by that way, we are going to develop the right understanding about ourselves, right? So if there is a newcomer who is joining today, they are instructed to practice breathing meditation. So when the breath is coming in, please be aware. When the breath is going out, please be aware. If it is long, if it is short, if it is gross, if it is soft, let it be so. Just keep on being, right? So like that, please practice breathing meditation. And Vipassana meditators, as I mentioned, please keep on being aware about your sensations and try to develop the right understanding about yourself deeper and deeper and deeper. Before we start, I would like to teach you another factor that you need to adopt for your life. That is being loyal to your own friends. Being loyal to your own friends. And so there are several qualities that we need to develop to be a loyal friend, good friend. So number one is being honest, being truthful to your friend. So that's one thing that we need to develop within. So that we need to develop within to be a noble friend. Number two, it is very important for us to develop the quality of being supportive. The most important time that we need to be with our friends is the time when they are in danger, right? So during the troubled times, troubled time is the time, most important time that we should be with them. So being supportive at such kind of situations is very important. And then after that, keeping the secrets of your friend, even though sometimes even the friends have fights. At such times too, you should determine that I'll keep the secrets of my friend, right? And then after that, so you should be a person that your friend can depend on you, right? That is also good quality. And fifth one, you should share, right? You should share the Dhamma with your friend. So all the other four, you do those things to make your friends this life a comfortable one. So the fifth one, you do it for that friends this life and next lives too. What is that? Sharing the Dhamma. Sharing the Dhamma. That also should be done as a good friend. Then you'll be able to have a comfortable life in this very life. So especially the first quality is very, very important, being honest, right? So let me, before we start the meditation, let me tell you about an incident which happened in this very California. So according to my memory, 2009. So in 2009, there was this Powerball lottery. So they drew the Powerball lottery, and it was won by somebody called Tom Cook. Tom Cook. So he he won the Powerball lottery, and right away he went to he called his friend Joseph Freeney, who was in Wisconsin. So he called Joseph Freeney and told Joseph Freeney, Joseph, so I called you today for a special news. So then he said, I won Powerball lottery, and I want to share that Powerball lottery with you. Then Joseph Freeney said, why is that? So both of them were in their 60s, right? All friends. So then after that, then Tom Cook said, can you remember? In 1992, while we were living together in Wisconsin, I gave you a promise. Can you remember? Joseph Freeney said, what kind of promise? Then Tom Cook said, can you remember? I told you. So while we were shopping together, so with their wives, they saw the ticket table. I mean the place where they sell tickets. And one day at that time, I told you, so if I win a Powerball, I will share half of that ticket price with you. So then Joseph Freeney said, yes, I remember. So, but I want to know how much did you win? Then he said, $22 million. So Tom Cook wanted to share 11 million with Joseph French. So that's the truthfulness. You have to be honest, and the friend should be able to depend on you. You should be supportive when it is needed, and at the same time, when more than dollars, it is very important, and it is more worthy if you share the Dhamma with them too, so that they can develop in this life, and in the they'll be helpful for them for their next lives too. Right? Be a good friend and develop these qualities within. Okay. With those thoughts, we are going to start today's meditation. Right. So, as I instructed, please, so Vipassana meditators, please practice Vipassana meditation. So, Artem attended 10-day courses, right? Yes, right. So, Artem, please do Vipassana yourself too. So, start observing the neck area first, front, so front of your neck, back of your neck, and then shoulder, upper arm, elbow, lower arm, wrist, lower palm, upper palm, and right hand fingers. And then after that, move your attention to your left hand. So shoulder, upper arm, elbow, forearm, then wrist, lower palm, upper palm, and left hand fingers. Right? So in all those areas, whatever the sensations, and then after finishing, if you could finish observing the sensations of your left hand fingers, please move back again to the top of your head and start from the top of head area. So Ramgar was asked to practice the second step of breathing meditation. So please practice as I instructed. And the beginners, as I mentioned earlier, please practice breathing meditation first step, right? So whatever the meditation technique, I wish that may you develop well, and may you gain a lot of peace and a lot of happiness today too. Right? Now everyone calm down, make your posture. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. Please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Take a deep breath and let it go. Take another deep breath and let it go. Take another deep breath and let it go. Now everyone, please concentrate. First, I'm going to pay our respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha in 3 short stanzas. After that, we will start the silent meditation session. Please concentrate. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijjacharana sampanno sugato lokamindo anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sangdittiko akaliko ehi passiko opanaiko Pachatang veditammo vinyuhiti. Supanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Ujupanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Nyaya patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Sami patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Yadidang chattari purisa yugani ate purisa puggala ese bhagavato savaka sangho ahuniyo pahuniyo dakineyo anjali karaniyo anutterang punyakitang lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a balanced, very equanimous mind. Everyone, please start your meditation. If you are practicing Vipassana meditation, please do so. And the beginners, please practice breathing meditation. Whatever the meditation technique that you practice, may that meditation practice be very, very successful. Very, very successful. Please start your meditation right now. Now, everyone, please keep your eyes closed. But if you want, if your legs are hurting, you can change them. You can change the posture. Now we are going to practice loving kindness meditation in brief. Let's share our loving kindness first with ourselves, with you. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness First, towards yourself. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards our dear parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. May my dear mother, may my dear father, my teachers, relatives, and friends be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards all of them. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards the neutral people, those who are not our friends, at the same time, those who are not our enemies, the people in the middle. May all the neutral people also be well. May all the neutral people also be happy. May all the neutral people also be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards the neutral people. Now let's spread our loving kindness towards the enemies. First, please forgive them for their mistakes and ask forgiveness for your mistakes towards them. May my enemies also be well. May my enemies also be happy. May my enemies also be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Spread your loving kindness towards the enemies. Now let's share our loving kindness with all the beings, not only human beings, animals, visible and invisible, all beings. We think of all of them. We don't discriminate all of them by their appearances, by their capabilities, or any other factor that you can do, that someone can discriminate the others. We think of all the beings. All beings like to be happy. No one likes to suffer. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be very peaceful. Very peaceful. Now everyone, very calmly and quietly, very peacefully, please open your eyes. Let your whole body to relax. Top to bottom, bottom to top. Let your whole body to relax. Now please you join your palms together and please say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, so as I always mention, make sure that you apply the understandings that you get through meditation in your daily lives too. The impermanence, it is not only to experience within the you are not only experiencing it within the meditation time. So you experience it throughout the life. So live with that understanding. There is nothing which will stay permanent. Everything is impermanent. And even the loving kindness, it is the same. So not only you should feel the joy of loving kindness here. So throughout you, this is just like exercising to have a good body, right? So whenever when you build a good body, through exercises, you use that physical body to do daily activities better. At the same time, the mind. So by practicing meditation, what you do is you try to train the mind, right? When you practice loving kindness meditation, you train the mind to develop the emotions of loving kindness. So throughout the life too, you should try your best to live generating those thoughts of loving kindness. Then it's easier to live in the world. You can't expect all the people that you meet in life to be nice. People have negativities. They work with those negativities. So sometimes you might have to face incidents that are not nice. Then what will happen? Because of the other people's actions, you should not suffer, right? So what you should do is you have to feel. So I have taught you various techniques to deal with them. So apply them. At the same time, so share your loving kindness with them. Think, may they change. May they be also able to change just like you change. And may they be able to live lives with empathy, loving kindness. Right? Then even though they won't change, still so their wrong actions won't have much impact in you. Right? If not, what will happen is you will keep on multiplying the grudge. You will keep on multiplying the grudge towards them, and that will make your life a bad one. Right? So, so if someone drinks poison even after warning, so you can't help that, right? But you can prevent. So you can stop. So you can so yourself be mindful not to bring poison. This is just like, right? So so please apply loving kindness to in your daily life. So understanding of impermanence and so emotion of loving kindness. Apply them in your day-to-day lives, right? So I promised all of you that starting from this week, I'll teach you about the 8 Noble Path one by one. So first I taught you about the 3 characteristics of life. Then after that, I taught you about the 4 Noble Truths. Can you remember the 4 Noble Truths? The suffering. Yeah, cause of suffering. Then number 3, Atim. Yes. So there is solution for suffering. I mean, the cessation of suffering. And the final one, right, let me ask from one of the online students. Oh, sorry. Right. All right. So, Mr. Huad, can you hear me?
Yes, Bhante.
Yes. What is the 4th one?
It is. There is a path to end the suffering.
Yes, very nice. Yes. So there are 4. Ramgar, can you so tell them? So number 1, there is suffering, and there's a cause for the suffering. There is a suffering, and there's a path to the cessation of suffering. Okay, very nice. Right. So then in the last one. I taught you at the fourth, when I was describing the fourth noble truth, I taught you that there is a path to the cessation of suffering. That is the Ms. Pragati and Rahul. Can you remember what is that path?
I want them to know they can, Bhante, sorry to interrupt. They need to know
right, that's
they
fine.
can unmute if they like.
Okay, got it. Right. Then the final, I taught you that. So to come out of all the suffering, you have to practice the Eight Noble Path. Eight Noble Path starts with right view, right understand. You can use both words, right view, right understand. Human being always work according to one's own philosophy, right? So you have philosophy, you work according to that philosophy, right? So based on philosophy, based on according to the way that you view the world, you develop various kinds of concepts. And according to those concepts, you work, you behave. So view is very, very important. In the Dhamma path, I taught you that there are two things which are very important. One thing is the confidence about the practice, right? Confidence about the Buddha, and at the same time the practice. And then at the same time, so you should have the wisdom, right view, right? So I told you that it is just like the cripple, the two friends, so who are the cripple and the blind man, right? So if both of them want to go somewhere, so the blind person has to depend on the crippled man, because because that person cannot walk, but he can see. So the other person can walk but cannot see. So confidence and view, they are just like these two. So wisdom is just like wisdom, the right view. It is just like the crippled person. And then after that, the blind man is just like saddha, the confidence, right? So both of them have to work together, right? So right view, there are two kinds of right views. Let me see. Right, I have to attach this one. Wait for a moment. Less batteries. So there are two kinds of right views. Number one, in those days language Pali, Buddha called them dasavattuka sammaditthi. That means right view about 10 factors. So right view about 10 factors means, so it's about the general life. It's about the general life. So dasavattuka sammaditthi. So the right view related to the 10 factors, and then 10 general factors. And then the other one, chatusacca sammaditthi, those days language. That means the right view. So right view, which is related to the spiritual practice. So for that means the Four Noble Truths, right? So there are such kind of two right views that we need to develop in life. So first I will teach you in brief So Dasavattuka Sammaditthi. So there are 10 facts that people develop wrong views in. So number one, so the first factor is people think by giving, so no good karma will happen. So by giving, nothing will happen. You only lose objects. So proper. So there are people who think like that, right? So that's a wrong way. So that's why there are many people. So you might say, oh, no, many people don't think like that. But the truth is, inside many people, they have this negative thought, right? By giving, no use of giving, right? So that is a wrong way. Then after that, there is another wrong way. So then so by treating, so nothing good will happen. Treating means, so for the parents, for the relatives, for friends, we had to treat, right? So by treating them, so there is no good karma. By helping them, no good karma will happen. So then after that, they think, so it is then there is no something called good karma or bad karma. Some people think there is no good karma or bad karma. So when you look at the world, you can see there are three kinds of beings. Beings with luxurious lives. Then after that, so if it is hard, then Artem, you can sit on the chair. I know you have back pain, right? So you can see there are three kinds of beings. So some live very luxurious lives, and some live medium, so kind of medium lives with not a lot of luxuries, so not poor too, medium, so mediocre life. And then so there are beings who live very hard lives, poor. So they lead a poor lifestyle, right? I remember once my master told us. So he was in Tanzania those days, and so during 90s, and in Africa there was a big epidemic. So there was this Ebola epidemic at the same time, a severe drought in 90s. People think that Africa is the same because on media we can see, even today what we can see is the pictures from 90s, but Africa is different now, somehow. So that was a very difficult time, and UNICEF, so they didn't have enough funds too, because they had to help so millions of people. So they found banana trunks. And they chopped those banana trunks into slices. And when they met people, so there were people who are living as groups. So whenever they read those groups, they threw banana trunks to them to eat. You can understand how so difficult that life was. There are people like that, even today, who live in the world, who lead very poor lifestyle. Why there are these three kinds of lifestyles? So that happens because of past karma. So whatever, so if you practice giving, so in return you get. So if you didn't practice dana, then according to the way how you practiced it, so then you get things, right? So there is this karma. Because of the nature of karma, so people are different. They have different abilities, right? Different appearances. So people are different because of their own karmas, past karma. So then, right. But there are certain people who think that there is no good karma or bad karma. Then, right. Then after that, fourth one, people think, so there is no this world. That means there is no something called this life. This is the only life. After this life, so nothing will happen. And so then there are beings who think, there are people who think that there is no next life, right? So then after that, there are, so uh, again, it is also related to karma. So whatever the multiplications that we do, positive or negative, so it continues until your last moment. At the last moment of your life, what will happen is, so during the brim of your death, thoughts about uh, the thoughts that you develop most of your time. I mean, if you practice positivity throughout the life, it comes to your mind at the brim of your death, and then you are pushed to another realm, which is suitable for the thought process that you had during the last moment of your life. So, so there is this, this life and next life. So why can't we see that? See those past lives. Why can't we remember them? Because the negativities that we do have, so they are so much tense. That's why we can't remember things. So let alone the things which happened in the past life. So even in this life, we can't clearly remember the things which happened. So I mean, several years ago. So if I ask you, can you remember the food that you ate? So last year on 14th of July, can you remember? We can't. So that's how negativities are. So we can't remember like that, because the negativities that we have, they are so much tense. But it doesn't mean we can't remember them. We can, because we lived at that time. How it happens? So when you practice concentration meditation, we develop the mindset. So we let our negativities go away, especially the 5 enemies of meditation and life. So then we gain the sharp ability to remember. Sharp ability to remember. That's how so Buddhist teachers, Hindu teachers, and Jain teachers. So they didn't copy this concept from each other. You don't understand. So they didn't copy. So all of them practice this noble meditation technique, concentration meditation technique, and they develop their mindset to great concentration levels. And then they themselves saw that this is not the only life that they lived. So they lived many lives before. They spent many lives throughout their samsaric circle, right? So, but in that aspect, you might ask why their viewpoints are different. So even though you develop your concentration level up to that point, still, so there are certain other viewpoints that you have. The way you look at them, they are different. That's why their viewpoints are different on those past lives. But somehow they saw so they gain the ability to see the past life. That's how they told, yes, there is a past life, there is a future life, right? So then but there are people who don't believe in that. So they feel like practice of spirituality is not that much important, right? Then they don't develop in the spiritual path because of that wrong belief. Then there are other people who believe that there is no mother, right? There are certain people who go to such kind of extremes, right? So there, even during the Buddhist time, there were people who believed like that. Pakuda Kachayan was a teacher, famous teacher, who taught this. So Ajita Kesakambali is a teacher, famous teacher at that time, who taught this, right? And then Sanjay Bellatiput, he was famous teacher who taught this. There is no mother, right? So there is no father. So yeah, even today there are people, but since it is not commonly believed, so it's not we can't hear it often, right? So then there are people who say that there is no being that rise by appearance. And then there are people who believe that there is no one who can attain higher stages in practice. That means they believe that there is no any Buddha, no any enlightened being, so no one can develop their spiritual to higher levels. But as meditators, you have practiced yourself and you have developed in your spiritual practice, and you already know that it is possible. Then these are the 10 factors. These are the 10 factors, right? Uh, 10 wrong views that people do have. And if you don't have these 10 wrong views, then you have the Dasavattuka Sammaditi, the right view about the 10 factors. Then after that, Chatusatya Dhammaditi. So Chatusatya Dhammaditi means the right view about the impermanence. So if you really understand there is impermanence, there is suffering, and so there is no being, there is no one that can say as I, my, mine. So according to the ultimate truth, right? Not during the general conversations, right? But according to the ultimate truth, there is no being who ever lasts. Moment to moment, we are changing. You have realized this through your own meditation experience, through Vipassana. So then, by that way, if you understand that there is this suffering, and there is a cause for this suffering, and there is a cessation of suffering, solution to suffering, and then there is a path to come out of suffering, then you have this Chatusatya Sammaditi. That means right view, which is related to the Four Noble Truths. So both these views are very important. If not, what will happen is you will think, if you think that things are permanent, then then what will happen is you will start your craving won't go away. It won't subside. Your anger won't go away. It won't subside. Your ignorance won't go away. It will become strengthened. It will become stronger. And so based on that craving, you will start doing things, right? People kill, people steal, People practice sexual misconduct, people lie, and people do various kinds of other wrong actions. Why? Because they have this misunderstanding. But whenever you develop the right understanding about impermanence, right, suffering, and then no self, so understanding of no self, then what will happen is, so those negativities start to dissolve, start to go. Then you don't hold to anger any longer, right? Whenever anger arises, you think this anger, the anger has arisen, but this is not everlasting. This is impermanent, and this is bound to pass. So you let it pass, right? You don't mess up the situation, right? So when lust has arisen, you understand the lust has arisen. So this is not eternal, this is impermanent. Changing. This thought will also pass. So you let it pass away. So then after that, so jealousy, ill will, hatred, and vanity, and selfishness, and there are such various kinds of such negativities that arise. When they arise, because you understand, you have the right view of impermanence, right? Right view of no self, then you observe them with a balanced mind. Then they stay for a certain period of time, and then they pass, right? So right view is very important. It is the base. It is the base. And then after that, when we want to build a good house, it needs a good foundation. If it doesn't have good foundation, it will sink, right? It will collapse. Just like that. So the practice of the spiritual practice also has to have a good foundation. That foundation is right way. Okay, so develop that right way first, and then on that we will then develop right concepts. On right concept, but based on right concept, you will start practicing good verbal actions. That means good speech, right speech. Then you will start practicing right living. You will live your life without harming the other people. Then you will keep on doing the right action, right? You won't kill, you won't steal, you won't practice sexual misconduct, etc. And then you will try to concentrate your mind. So you will try to be mindful all the time, and you will develop strike effort within, not to do harmful actions towards the other people, and not to start harmful actions that you never done, and then not so to continue. You will try to continue the good actions that you're already doing, and you will restart. You will start the good actions that you have never started, and then you will by that way you will try to develop right concentration levels too. So all these things combining together, yes, right mindfulness, yes. Then so you will develop, you will try to be mindful all the time, yeah. Then after that you will try to develop the right concentration, right? So great levels of concentration, and finally combining all of them together, what will happen is you will be able to come out of all your negativities, developing all the positivities within. You will be able to attain real peace, real happiness, Nibbana, right? Yes. So then first try to so what you are doing is you are through vipassana meditation, you are developing the right way with it, right understanding about your body, right understanding about your mind, right? So then let's work hard to understand about the real nature of your body and mind, and let's try to develop the right view first. Okay, right. Then we are about to conclude. Now, everyone, please think. Together, all of us gathered here and practice this noble meditation technique and accumulated a lot of positive energy. By the power of that positive energy, let's wish. May all our troubles be away, and may all the good things happen in our lives, and may be able to come out of all the negativities. May be able to develop all the positivities within and practice in the Dhamma path. May all of us attain real peace, real happiness, Nibbana. With those thoughts, please concentrate. Join your palms and concentrate. Abhivadana Silisse Nichang Vada Pachainu Chattaro Dhamma Vadanti Ayuvagno Sukhang Balang Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevache Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminate Samijjatu. May you all be well. May you all be happy. May you all be very peaceful. Sukhi Hotu. Sukhi Hotu. Sukhi. See you in the next week. Until then, good night, dear. Good night. Sukhi Hotu. Good night, Mr. Howard.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you so much.
May you be happy. Good night, Pragati and Rahul.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you so much. Good
May
night.
you be happy. Good night.